You and welcome back. I know after lunch it's going to be a bit hectic, but all the panels are going to be very interesting along with the talks that we have. So, you all had lunch? Enjoyed lunch? Good to know. So, the next up we have a panel on developing the world from Tamil Nadu. What are the opportunities and challenges that go behind it? So, for that, we have some local studios and people who have actually hit the mark in the state. We have Jeno from Highbrow Interactive. We have Sriram from Skyesports. We have Mario from Weloadin, Mohan from Chennai Games, and Machaiah from IGDC team will be moderating the session. Thank you.
Super. Let's go on. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Lunch is good. Sorry, the lines took longer. The plates kept coming, but I hope everybody had lunch. With that, we'll start the afternoon session. I hope the morning session is good for everybody. We've got a nice panel of people from Chennai who've gone on to build great games, gone on to build great studios, companies, and who've been quite successful in what they do and also like looking to scale up and get better at what they do. We hope this panel will help you understand some insights on what their development journey has been like, the challenges it faced. So first, we'll just start with a round of introductions from everybody, starting with you, Jeno. Yeah.
Hi, so good to see you all. My name is Jeno. I co-founded Highbrow Interactive back in 2012. So we focus on simulation games, specifically heavy vehicle simulation. And we have train simulators, truck simulators in the market. What the core team also does is specialize in simulation itself, not just for games. So I also have another startup called Medicine VR, where we develop simulation to help train medical students.
Hello everyone, I'm Mario Royston. I'm co-founder of Weloadin Studio. We started the studio in 2015. We started as a two-man indie, me and my co-founder, who is my college mate. And from there, we explored many business models from servicing to premium games. And we finally got a crack in hyper-casual market, and we launched two hit games called Desert DIY and Rubber Band Cutting. And so far, we have over 150 million downloads users in our games. And currently, we are pursuing PC and console market as well. So it's like PC and console and hybrid mobile market. Mobile market, we are majorly focusing on hybrid casuals right now. So this is what we do. And we are based out of Chennai, and our studios in Nadaya.
Doing a recruitment pitch.
Hey guys, Sriram here from Skyesports. I head the esports division in Skyesports, and we are primarily a tournament organizer. So we help promote games and reach the grassroots through our esports tournaments and competitions. And we also have a sister company, which is one of the largest cricket game franchises for mobile, called Real Cricket.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mohan, CEO and co-founder of Chennai Games. So I'm into the gaming space for the last 22 years. I've created kind of 100 plus mid-core gaming games and two or three big titles, part of two of three big titles like World Cricket Championship 1, 2, Battle of Chepak. And then and later on, I started Chennai Games during 2018. So my predominant focus is to create racing games based out of India and gradually take it to the globe. That's what our mission is all about. And we are quite successful in terms of reaching out a huge volume of users. We crossed 20 million downloads so far. And then with that actually amplified our journey in terms of taking our game to blockchain version, so that the Radix was born. And then now we are focusing on two interesting titles. So that's supposed to go live in maybe 3 or 4 months' time from here. So we are based out of Chennai. We are a team of 15 members. It's end-to-end company, right from 2D, 3D, game programming, and then self-marketing and self-publishing as well. So this is what is all about. So happy to connect you guys down the line. So I will be here. Yeah, thank you.
Mohan, continue with you. What made you get into the games industry? And how was it to start off? I mean, you said 22 years back. A lot of us are much younger. But how was it to start off 22 years back? What made you start gaming as a career?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. In fact, basically I'm an engineering graduate. So during my college days, I used to play EA Sports Brain Lara Cricket. I'm sure everyone might have played that game. So that game fascinated me when I was studying engineering. So that time as a gamer, I just played. But once I found what is the way to hit sixes, every ball sixes, then I'm sure many of them have been cracked it. So you can hit every ball six in EA Sports. I think Harish is laughing. So basically, after that, the engineering mind comes in. Okay, how to do games. Okay, so that fascinated a lot. And on top of it, if I look back, my journey, so during my summer holidays, I used to draw a lot of stuff, freehand drawing, like as a hobby, basically. So I'm interested in drawing, and then kind of a music lover. So I love a fast-paced music. And then the engineering helped me a lot. So the gaming industry is the one that connects all dots. So which means it needs creative stuff like art, animation, programming, and then a lot of testing stuff like that. So it's a kind of great chemistry in order to combine all medias into a multimedia. So this brings, the gaming is the right fit for that. So this inspired me, that fueled me a lot in order to pursue a career in gaming division. That time, in fact, the parents won't support you. So even nowadays, but I think the things are getting much positive way. A lot of parents are supporting now. So they consider gaming as a career. So EA Sports and Brain Lara Cricket, that's fascinated me, that inspired me in order to come to the gaming industry.
Yeah. Sriram, then we'll do one round.
So yes, I think most of us here would have started by gaming only, and that's my story as well. So when I think by 2012 or 11, when I was in school and college, so I used to go to gaming cafes, and that was when the first time I went there, I was amazed at how many people are playing a few games and they're competing and they're playing it professionally as well. So I thought that would be something that I wanted to explore, and I was grinding a few titles, predominantly first-person shooters like Call of Duty and Counter-Strike. And once I started hitting it professionally, I thought there is more to it than it. Like, esports is nothing just about playing competitively, but there's a lot that's happening at the back end of it as well. And I wanted to explore that. And that's when I started hosting my own tournament, and I started learning from there. And that's how it all started. And that's where we are right now.
Nice. Mario, so, I mean, the question will start, following up to that, what kind of games do you want to build? When you started off and now what?
I don't want to restrict myself into a particular genre. So I would like to explore more in terms of game development. So initially, we had an idea, when we started, we just wanted to make a premium iOS game, something like Monument Valley, something like that. And now it's going somewhere else. It's not in my hand. But as you explore many stuffs, right? You'll have satisfaction. So that's what I'm heading towards.
Jeno, you said simulation games, and it told us a little bit of that. But if somebody wants to come into the games industry in Chennai especially, one is, as a founder, where do you go for talent? Is there enough talent pool? Because we see a lot of young kids here who also want to either start their own studios or get into game development. One is, where do you find talent? Two is, where do you go scouting for talent?
Okay, let me start with my journey first a little bit.
Yeah.
First, like the others here, I was fascinated by games. I was fortunate enough to have access to a PC back in late 90s. And I was a big fan of business simulation games. Roller Coaster Tycoon, Railroad Tycoon. those kind of stuff. And Age of Empires 2 was eating most of my time. But then the hunger for, how can I do this? Just like Mohan said, can I make a better cricket game? Or can I best roller coaster tycoon? If this feature was there, that would have been nice. Can I do it for myself? I think that drive is what brought us here. Back then, at least I was not able to find the right way quickly. So I went to CSE to learn programming. Then someone said, you need to learn Maya to make games. Then I did it. I did the course and then I realized I can't make games. Then I studied Flash. All these things happened from 8th grade to 12th grade.
Wow.
And then when I entered engineering, computer science and engineering, that's when Android was new. So then Google kind of published their playbook on how to make games, and that helped me get into it. But then again, I started with GL. Not the best way to get into games. And it took a while for me to realize, okay, there are game engines, and this is how you need to approach to make a game. And then I went on to do my master's in game engine design. So that's the search for the unknown is what took me till here. And I think today the opportunities are much more wide. And if someone really wants to enter the gaming industry, it's much more easier. In terms of talent pool, earlier it used to be tough. Back in 2015-16, we used to have courses within our office. Okay. If someone joins, we just look at their abilities in C, C++. If they are good in logic and math, and then we'll be like, okay, now you have a training for 3-4 months inside the office, you have to do this, and then you become a developer. Yeah. But I think now in the last few years, it has become much better. And I think, look at you guys coming in with so much interest. I believe today that is not the problem at all.
So, I mean, Mario, for you, if you're building a team, what are those talents you're looking at? What kind of talent are you looking at to build a team?
Building team in the sense you're making a company, or
if you're putting more people on the job, what kind of talent do you look at?
So first thing is I look on if he has the passion and eagerness to learn stuff. So that's one thing I majorly focus on. And secondary thing is the basic software skills. So this is what I look on. So after that, the exposure and all these stuffs that we can train anyone. Once that comes with an experience. So once you have the passion and eagerness to learn, definitely you can crack it. It's not a topper is there. I'm not in the right position. I can't make games. It's not like that. Yeah. Once you gain the experience, maybe you can be above them as well. So it's all about experience. So once you have the eagerness, that's the main thing that drives us here to build a company. So that's what the strength of yours as well.
Because some of the questions I'm asking also is because to help younger developers understand where there is, what kind of jobs are there, what kind of opportunities are there. So Sriram and Mohan, how do you build a portfolio? I mean, if you're a young studio or if you're a young dev, how do you really build a portfolio? Forget even going to market, right? But how do you build a portfolio as a young developer to get studios interested? Or even if you're in esports then, and you want to get into the esports space and you have a lot of kids, a lot of people here who are dabbling in something, how do you build a portfolio? What goes into building a portfolio? And what should you look for while building a portfolio?
So basically, when you're looking at a portfolio for an esports company, so it's about going up with more titles, going up with more intellectual properties. In our sense, that will be competitions and esports tournaments that go on year on year. Yeah. And for that, I would say the talent pool that we're looking at is something, the team that we have, the crew that we have is something that we would need to look at if we want to build a stronger portfolio. Because like the others said, I think the intention to learn and the passion that you have for the game or for esports is something that we keenly look at. And I would say resources, human resources are something that are really, I would say, important to build a portfolio, especially in our scene. Because we have the tools to teach the people who are new to the esports scene, but the intention to learn is something that we're really looking at. Because if you look at our crew itself, we have about 60 people within our company, and all of them are 100% gamers. They're gamers, and they've been grinding a game or multiple games over time. And getting that knowledge, and that knowledge translates to how you want to position that product. So because we don't just conduct tournaments, but we also package the content pieces, we also broadcast it, we also stream it. So those things you can only understand much more once you start grinding, and the intention to learn more is something that is keen on building those kinds of portfolios, I feel.
Now a jet synthesis band, right? What is like the next big thing?
So yes, so basically things are much. So to break it down, for an esports tournament organizer, if we have to organize a tournament, there are a lot of things that we need to do from the publisher side. So we need to finalize a game title. We need to sort of get some permissions. We need to get some licenses. There's a lot of back-end process for that. And now with Jet also being a publisher of the largest mobile cricket gaming franchise over the last few years, it makes it much easier because we have our own ecosystem. We are our own publishers. We are our own tournament organizers. So things make it much easier in that sense. And we're able to put that product out pretty well as well, apart from the portfolio.
So cricket, I mean, is big in India, but more like as a studio, if I'm dabbling, see, a lot of times we see studios who are very, very interested and like you played the game and you want to build a game like that, but building a game of the game that you're playing is very different. And you realize it at some point in the journey and then you're like, hey, it's not working. But so as a studio, then what do you choose? Like, how do you choose this is the kind of games I want to build? And what's the best advice you would give somebody?
So basically, the game that you want to build, so that should have a sufficient market potential. So as a studio, you guys need to do the required research whether this particular game genre has a sufficient user base, or it is looking for such kind of good game with a unique selling. There should be a certain USP with good audience base. That shows or that gives you the success ratio more than 50%. And on top of it, sometimes you can also go for some niche genre as well. So if it has a certain potential, definitely with the help of a market study, market research, you can identify the genre. On top of it, if you're passionate about building that particular game, put your heart and soul into it in order to do much deeper. So because the trend is kind of changing, so deep games also needed, as well as some casual game also doing better. So put your heart, do your research in order to identify the right genre, and then go for it without any U-turns. Go for it, and for sure that will get success. And take a lot of mentorship. Give your demo projects or playable projects to the industry veterans and get a lot of feedback. Feedback is the very key. So always get feedback from the user, refine it, always listen to your audience, and make the big bang.
Yeah. So we finished like the business part of it, where did talent come from? What do you think is Chennai's biggest strength? Or Tamil Nadu's biggest strength? And like, let's do some positivity, right? Like as developers, like I'm saying most people will go to like, hey, we'll go to Bangalore and set up a studio there because the ecosystem is very well. In Chennai, it's a different way around, right? Like you have to really grind a lot more probably than a studio in Bangalore. Like you got something like an Anand who's probably come back to Chennai. And what makes Chennai ecosystem good? What are you bullish of the Chennai ecosystem? Yeah, quick answers. Come on.
I think easy answer, the talent pool itself. Even if you go to Bangalore, you see a lot of people from Chennai leading the tech. And we are the SaaS capital for a reason. So I believe if the ecosystem grows, the gaming ecosystem grows, I think talent wouldn't be a problem at all. And we have a lot of engineering colleges here as well. That is going to only boost the whole process. I think what we need is the exposure.
So I think the talents are here. The people that I'm currently working as outsourcing people, they are from, I have a team who's working on a concept art for the games that I'm building right now. They are based out of Sivagasi. Oh, wow. And they are making games from, they made a concept art for Last of Us 2. So there are talent pools available here. So that's a major strength we have, but it's scattered all over. Since we don't have much big things going on here previously. Right now it's developing more. So that's how it's scattered. And one more thing is you able to sustain in your hometown. So that's this is your home. So obviously you can do with anything with the freedom. So that is a key.
You have
So-
a roof over your head. I mean, literally. What makes Chennai bullish? What do you bullish about?
So yes, talent pool is something as well. And apart from that, in our space, I also feel like, the infrastructure here is pretty good compared to how it was a few years back. Like, be it like when we are doing esports tournaments and events, we also look at the infra, the internet, and a lot of other things also come up. And all of that is available in Chennai. So it's not like, there's something on the other tier 1 cities that is not in Chennai anymore. I wouldn't go far to say that. So yeah, I mean, we have all it is. And now we also have the exposure for that too, like, a lot of IPs and, fest coming down to Chennai itself.
Yeah.
Like, we had Comic-Con as well happening
Yeah.
over the last few months and a lot other planned over the next few months. So, yep.
As everyone said, so of course we have a lot of engineering colleges here, and on top of it, in Tamil Nadu, so the gaming industry is not tapped that much. So we have a huge potential. So of course, as Mario said, and of course the other panelists said, so our guys are going to Bangalore. So definitely our talents want to work from our own state. That's going to happen, and as a lot of things are going to happen in Tamil Nadu. So on top of it, our culture is a bit different. So we have some cultural connect advantage in Tamil Nadu. So that is going to help us for sure, no doubt about it.
Yeah, Mario spoke about like a studio out of Shivakasi, right, doing game art. It's fantastic here because Shivakasi back in the days we had the fireworks or notebooks. And back in the early, some of the high-end notebooks used to come from Shivakasi. The question is services a good model to substantiate the product business?
I would say yes, because like that's how we started. Because like when you start a studio with zero funds, you obviously can't expect to make a game, put it in a store, and you expect everyone to download. It's not like Among Us or something that just go and even Among Us, like after they released, after few years only they got into limelight. So it's not like that. Like many devs who start to make new games have this problem. Even I did that.
Yeah.
So they put the game, like they get upset like if they don't get any download. So that's not gonna work anyway. One more thing is, I'm sorry, like what's the question?
Is services a good model?
No, yeah. So for at the beginning stages, like we did servicing, and it supported our studio. And once we get experience and good portfolio with the team that we built, we able to make more games. Yeah. So at that point, like you have to switch your module from servicing to production. So if you don't change your business model to product-based company, it might not take off good. Yeah. So you can't. If your aim is to only go for a servicing, you can aim that. But if your aim is to do a product-based company, start off with the servicing and then you just gradually go for the product-based model. And I would say like if something fails in the product genre, like let's say if you're exploring casual games, if it didn't go well, let's say I'm doing the hyper casual, and now the hyper casual trend is not there. I'm not in the mindset to stop hyper casual or like rely on only on hyper casual. So I'll adapt myself and change to different genres. So the main key is like you have to survive in this industry for a very long time. So obviously it's not like I only make big games. I don't make small games. You have to do both. At the time and the situation, like you have to make a right call and move on.
What do you think?
Actually, servicing helps a game development company to sustain. So because you can keep it like 50-50. So you can build your own IP as well as service. But thing is that servicing helps you lot of cash flow into the company that will give you a lot of mileage to move forward at least a year or so. So in the meantime, you can also build products parallelly, but keep it some balance. So that will definitely helpful. On top of it, while doing servicing, you will get a lot of exposure. particularly once you are signed up an agreement with a client project, so they will be demanding for sure. So meaning there will be a lot of new requests, new technical boundary that need to be pushed. So your team will be well equipped so that you can leverage that kind of exposure while you build IPs for your this thing. That will give you a lot of good journey while creating your own intellectual property.
Yeah.
So actually, just to add on to what Mohan said as well, like how we started out was we had a hybrid model. So at one side we were doing our own IPs. At the same time, we were servicing as well with publishers, and that really helps with the cash flow as well. Because what I have noticed with other tournament organizers who start off pretty new is they lose motivation once you go for 6 months or 12 months into the company. Once you're not really getting a lot of the inflow when you're doing your own product or an IP, they lose motivation, and ultimately they don't sustain after that. And sustainability is something that is a key concept that you're looking at, especially when you're servicing, so that on one side you are keeping that cash flow and the momentum going, and at the other side you're focusing on the product as well. And that's how we went, and that's sort of how it sort of helped us survive over the long run, and now we are where we are because of that.
Do you have a take, Jeno, because you didn't do services much? I mean, did you? You did? Oh, I didn't know that. Sorry.
I mean, we had our virtual reality services going on.
Okay, yeah.
So, like others said, if you want to succeed, you need to survive first. So, servicing will help you with that. And like Mohan said, it also makes you better. I think we learned a lot from servicing than making our own products, because when you formulate a product, you always base it out of your strengths. But when you're servicing, it might be out of your comfort zone. That pushes your boundary, technical boundary, business boundary, a little bit beyond what you plan. And that eventually will make your product plan better.
You'll also hear the voice that you don't want to hear. Some clients can really get on to you. No, but jokes apart, sitting in a tier 2, tier 3 city, right? I mean, I'm not calling Chennai a tier 2 city, but I'm saying in the gaming parlance, apologies, good save. In gaming parlance. So basically, in a tier 2 city, how is it to like, it's like an echo. I think gaming world, some level, is like an echo chamber, right? I mean, you're talking to yourselves, you're talking to like each developer. How do you network? Where do you go? Like, what kind of like, what really helps game developers get more exposure in the market? Besides you publishing and all of that, which is anyway an organic thing that you'll do as a publisher. But to get recognized as game developers, as studios, what do you do? Where do you go? Is it events? Is it?
So definitely networking helps. So event like this, particularly maybe you can follow IGDC for sure, no doubt about it. So
Brand plugin.
So because you need similar kind of mindset. See, in this room we have almost a similar kind of mindset. So you cannot able to see such kind of things outside somewhere else, right? You can, whoever you meet here, they will be very passionate about games. So identify such kind of events. So attend most of the gaming events across India. See, to be honest, with the help of some gifted partnership that we got, I got an opportunity to go to GDC. Okay, so it's a handful of projects. So it looks like, okay, definitely a lot of materializable. Okay, so but thing is that we are lagging in terms of implementation because we have a lot of projects now. So network with similar kind of people. Always attend gaming events. So that will be very helpful, and make your professional online presence. So that will also help you, particularly LinkedIn or LinkedIn is the best. So the rest or maybe time pass stuff, maybe based on my experience. In order to connect to the right people, event, and of course, make your online presence in a professional way. So these are the 2 points I just want to share.
So at the initial stages, like in 2015, when we started the studio, like we were in developing games from our home, and like we don't have much exposure to the outer world. But like at that point, like we have like one opportunity is like you have to showcase in NASCOM GDC. So that's the only platform here that we can showcase our games. So we try that. or like we have to apply for Casual Connect Asia. So this is how we got exposure to the outer world later on. But right now, like you have social media, and like everyone after the once the COVID started, I think like every business turned to LinkedIn. So it's like easy to find any publishers. You can just connect with them and like say this is what we do. But at that time, like obviously you need a better portfolio. So once you build that, like you have to have a strong portfolio, and to support they say like yeah, I can do that. So these are the things that we make. So that gives you a big upfront from the others who are just started. So yeah, you can find many publishers right now in social medias, and obviously to promote your studio, like obviously you have Discords, you have Instagrams. So these are like majorly used people. If your users are mainly coming from that, let's say for PC and console games, that's the major user base you're getting attraction. So Twitching or YouTube. So that's the main place. For the mobile, like it's totally different. It's based on like how you tackle with the data analytics, like how the users are playing the games. So that's how you need to tweak, and like obviously you need to respect the reviews of the game. So this is how you build a better community among your studio.
First to Sriram, then Jeno. Sriram, like as an esports company out of Chennai, you are probably one of India's top one or two players in the market. What is it like? I mean, like from Chennai to like build into such a big portfolio. Some of the things that you think were like really cool.
Well, yes, the journey over the last 5 years have been pretty surreal because how we started was basically we were doing regional tournaments during our first ever IP that we did. It was called Skyesports Championship, and it was a only Tamil Nadu Open BGMI esports event. And we started from there, and we had a vision. Our founder had a vision as well, which was the similar one with our entire team. We wanted to work to that, and our goal from then over the next 4-5 years was to go into different regions. We achieved that in 2 years. We had done a few events in Southeast Asia, in Indonesia and Philippines, and like how this topic is about bringing the world to
Chennai
TN or to Chennai. I would go a step up and say we've almost achieved that because we've already achieved that because we've already done an esports event last month called the Skyesports Masters, which had a prize pool of 350K USD. And that involved a lot of the top tier 1 teams across the globe. We had teams from Europe, Australia, as well as other regions too, Middle East, etc. And we have one happening over the next 2 months, which is an offline event that is being planned with tier 1 teams across. So this is what we had been planning over, we wanted to achieve this by next year, but we've already exceeded that. And our plan is to push our boundaries even further. And being under the Jet umbrella, we have a good vision as well as a guidance from the team as well. And we plan to also replicate these in other regions too, and not only be an Indian-based org. So, yeah.
Jeno. I was actually thinking of the next question. How is it like from Chennai to reach the world, right? What is it like? Like, for you all, how was it like? When you started publishing or when you started building games?
The journey itself was amazing. I remember when we made our first train game, it was actually Euro Train Simulator. So we went after the European market. By the time I was doing my masters, I already started the company, and Prashant, co-founder, he was the one who was heading the game. And I used to send reference images from the UK, sending, this is how trains look here and all that. And once we published it, we were topping European markets, Germany, Italy, France, UK. That gave us the confidence. This is back in 2015. So that gave us the confidence that, you can actually build from here and the world will consume it and they will appreciate it. I think that has driven the whole team to push forward. And then we had some, the change in direction also, looking at India as a big market as well. While we have the confidence that we can build world-class quality products, you then seem to also think, why is GTA always happening in New York? Why not Chennai? I think that's a question so many people are asking right now.
Yeah.
We also have a few projects from here which
from
are
here,
focused
correct.
on Chennai. So then we made the game Indian Train Simulator. Again, when we made it 2016, we didn't think of it as a train game. We actually thought of it as a game for India, where, when you get into the game, you can relate with India, you feel like you're home. I think that's a very beautiful thing, and that largely motivates us to make more games, other than the revenue and other aspects of it.
I remember Anand talking about, sometime back at the meeting, saying if animes can be big in Japan, why can't Indian folklore or Tamil folklore be bigger across the world?
Yeah, that's how RRR. That's how RRR make a stand in Hollywood, right? Like this is though many people don't like it, but obviously they know how to crack the market with our own essence. So this is like I've seen many movies do that nowadays. I've seen this Malayalam movie Minnal Murali. So that is a superhero movie. I think that's the only superhero movie from India that I like, because it has the elements of you stop the fan in one hand. So this is what we always dreamt to do in our real life.
Growing up, you wanted to touch the fan.
So that
I mean, if you have been in hostels, you used to do that. Like you could touch the fan will keep moving. Yeah. So, I mean, Chennai, I think is a great story place, and it's good to see stories coming out of Chennai. We're almost running out of time. What's the big dream about? Quick answers. In 3 years from now, where do you see yourself? Or one for you, and where do you see the gaming scene in Chennai? Quick answers. Starting with Mohan.
So 3 years from here, so I'm very sure that only great teams can build great products. So we are banking on our team, our own products. So these products should be, we are in a dream run saying that these are sustainable and consistent growth is what we are aiming for. So, and we are planning to bring in a lot of work-life balance for the team. This is what our dream is all about. Good products, good team, sustainable, and meaning work-life balance system is what we are dreaming about.
Sriram.
So yes, for us, in the next 3 years, I mean, we have backed our team tremendously until now, and we will be continuing to do that. And we want to see ourselves competing with the world, the top TOs in the world. We want to compete direct head-to-head with them. And for Chennai, I know at the moment there are a lot of other cities which are, in terms of esports, they are leaders in esports for that. But our goal is to make Chennai as the esports hub. We are closely working with the governments as well to push for that. And hopefully in the next 3 years, we would love to see, and with the plethora of talent we have here, I see that should be much easier. Yeah.
So my dream is to make games that inspires many. So, and that's our studio's dream. And my personal dream is to grow more talents in India and Tamil Nadu. So this is where I'm focusing on and moving towards. So I don't know if it's 3 years or longer than that, but it'll be there at the right time. So we are currently focusing on mobile games as well as PC and consoles. So in the next 3 years, we might release a PC game. At that point, I want it to inspire many, and I want many studios trying that.
For me, probably as a company, Highbrow, we will still want to make good heavy vehicle simulation games for India and for the world. But we are also venturing into idle tycoons. Like I said, I love tycoon games. We also have a couple of 2-3 games in the pipeline. We are trying to work with publishers now, rather than self-publishing. And for the community, for Chennai, I think one of the best things that happened this year is developers getting together.
Yeah, I think so.
The community building aspect of it, I think we are all part of it. I think this is great, and I think Anand is there. He's our North Star.
Mudalwan.
Yeah.
Anand is our
Mudalwan.
Yeah, Anand is our TN Game Dev Association president. This is true, actually. So he is the one spearheading Tamil Nadu game dev scenes here right now. So we started a community here in Chennai to bring all the developers together, and hopefully, like we'll have multiple sessions and events like to bring all you guys together at one place and discuss like what are the scenes happening in the game industry. So it's just started, so we'll be announcing it very soon.
Yeah.
What I think this will enable is for in 2-3 years is for new founders. They can learn a lot from the community in a very straightforward way, and they can avoid a lot of mistakes we would have done.
Correct.
I think that's great.
Yeah. I think one good thing about the gaming ecosystem is that anybody and everybody is reachable. You don't have to think he's the CEO or whatever. You can ping anybody on LinkedIn, and more often than not, people actually reply. And everybody is willing to help
And
each
to
other.
my advice, I think like you do the mistakes, then only you'll know the thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, make mistakes and learn, but learn from the mistakes. Yeah, but otherwise, the games industry, I think, is built on community building, and there's a lot of camaraderie in Chennai, and I hope that will really spur the next big innovation from Chennai. Any questions, guys? Running out of time, 2 minutes left. Angar mic kuda. Inge irukka.
So hey guys, truly inspiring all of you. One thing is you've all built a company, and like what is one problem that you faced in the initial stages of building the company, and how did you solve the problem? Like a problem that made you feel like இது போதும்டா விட்டுறலாம் அப்படி.
First thing is funding is the most important problem. Like obviously you need money to sustain yourself. You have to live. So that's first thing. And second thing is so I started company without any experience. So it was like hard for me to, understand the pipeline well. So I made my own pipeline and then do it. Like then I made some mistakes and I learned and I figured out the pipeline. So okay, this is working good. So that's how, like it's learning experience. So these are the two problems that I had in the initial phases. And one major part is like I don't know how to sell my game. So though I know like many devs here can make games, may make cool stuffs, but they don't know how to sell the game. They don't know what's the essence of your game. So that's where you need to work on. So right nowadays, like when we start thinking of an idea, we always think on a selling perspective, like how you sell a game. So this concept can be downloaded by many people. This interests many people. So this is what we do the check at first. Then we start building the game. So that's one tip that I can give you.
One second, a specific question to you again. Will you go back in time and work for a couple of years in a company, or like will you do it different now? If you were to
No,
go back
I don't think so. Like, what do you think? At that point, you're
Yeah,
saying?
at that point, yeah.
Given a chance to go back,
No,
will you
no,
go
no.
back and
I
work?
won't say. It's not like I'm okay. Like I
Vaadiyar
can
peche
sustain.
kekla.
Okay, it's not like everyone can do that. Like some people need to support their family. So I don't encourage much on that. But like yeah, to my perspective, I had some freedom to try out stuff. So I don't go and change to my life. No.
One more question, somebody else.
I want to add one more stuff to his point. As Mario said, so of course you need funding. That's basic. That's for sure. The second is the right product fit. The first product that you are going to build, that is that decision is very key, because you will be putting a lot of money to that particular product. So you have to make success. Okay. So because that could be the turning point of that particular startup. If it is successful, you'll go further. So the other way route. Okay, you should be very careful for the first product that you are going to bet on. Okay, so nowadays, as he said, game development is just 30%. The rest of the 70% is marketing. You have to reserve a fund for that. So you have to reserve this, whatever the weightage, for example, 10 lakhs or 20 lakhs that you are going to spend for your development, you have to have a similar kind of budget. If you're doing a self-publishing, have a similar kind of budget in order to promote the game. Otherwise, even the quality games, that's not noticeable nowadays. Because every day, for sure, 1,000 games will be released today. Okay, so we have to bring our game somewhere outside so that it is noticeable. That will be rewarding for you.
Harim. Here.
Yeah, this side.
See, yeah, we can able to hear three points from you: profession, passion, appreciation. We heard that from you. Okay, as a business owner, okay, how you people evaluate your ROI? Okay, year on year, as a business owner, okay, how you people evaluate your ROI?
Okay, it's a little bit tricky for games, especially when you self-publish, to calculate the ROI. Because most of the time we build updates for these games which are pretty expensive and then don't realize
That is a
how much
cost factor.
those upgrades bring in. But what we can clearly do is build a long balance sheet for your game. We want to have so many resources working on this game since the beginning till 3-4 years, and what we expect, and are we going near the projection. I think that would be a decent way to calculate. Or we have the textbook method of going into LTV versus user acquisition cost, and then offsetting it with how much I'm going to spend. So those are the two ways we can do it for games. But what I would also say is building the brand and building the game which will sustain you will add more value in the long term than looking at it just as the ROI it brings in terms of money in the first couple of years.
Thank you.
Last question. Yeah.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. He said last question, but I have two. So please. Yeah, right. So if you're going to advise to the new founders, never do this, what that would be. And the second question is, which platform that you would be interested to invest, whether that's going to be PC or the mobile apps. Thank you. Over to you guys.
Absolute no, I would say, is don't believe your idea. That's what we did. When we think of an idea, we'll be like, wow, this is going to change the world. This is going to be a sure hit, and then it'll be like, no, not happening. So don't get upset, don't have that expectation. Sure. That is what I would advise.
You need to.
It's on.
You need to come to a reality that your game sucks. So yeah, like it's I know, like the beginning stages, like you'll be in a headweight, like you don't believe that. But obviously, like, to be frankly saying, I didn't like my games as a player. But like that sells, so you don't know. So that's the one mistake you need to understand. Like you need to realize that fact. Or like if the game doesn't work out, doesn't matter. Kill it and move on with the next game. So yeah, so that's one thing. And one more advice is not to do is don't sit in a place and like expect things to happen. So like go like sell yourself. Like this is what I do. This is what I know. Like if you're in one place and just in home and you're trying to put it outward like that, you release the game, that isn't going to work out. So you have to promote yourself. So that's one thing. What's the second question you said?
Which platform would you be interested to invest? Yeah.
That depends on like each of our interests. So my personal interest is PC and console. For that, like it's not like I don't want to make mobile games. I want to invest in mobile games, but it's not like some genre that I'm currently working right now. It's totally different. Like I want to explore even multiplayers in future. So yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. It's a nice discussion, a lot of insights. The idea of the panel was just to like tell stories and also to like give people an idea of what to do, what not to do, and also be a little inspired. All of us around, you can still catch us up.